Well, I was always rapping. I could say I was an actor first, definitely, but even as a kid, just messing around rapping, I was always rapping. But the transition, like when I took it seriously, it was like, I enjoyed it more. It was more, it was fun. I enjoyed being myself. When you're acting, you're playing a character, a role. You're being somebody else. So I like being myself. How has it impacted me? Well, meeting him first was, I knew him before he was like super big. I think I was one of the first beats he had sold. So it was early beginning, but I knew he was going to be, leading the front line. I knew because his beats were next level. So I didn't know he really rapped back then. I don't think he was really focusing on it at the time, but his beats were next level. I knew he was going to be somebody major. I couldn't have told you he was going to be as big as he was, though. I couldn't have thought that because he was humongous. I would say he was real big all the way up until the comments recently made.
Right.
And still big. But how's that? I guess working with him and knowing how he was successful, it pushed me a little bit further, because I lost complete contact with him. I haven't really spoken or came across him. Like I haven't even bumped into him since I was 17. And I think he was, he may have been 19.
You guys are really young.
Yeah, we were young, but I was really pushing myself, to meet him at the level. That's all. Like right now, I'm gonna say I'm definitely an underground artist because I don't have the spins nothing like a Chris Brown, nobody like Major, Future, or nothing like that. But if I was given a good opportunity, I would stand out amongst a lot of artists because I'm more original than a lot of artists I see nowadays. A lot of people sound the same, or sound like the next artist. And, not trying to knock any artist at all, but, a lot of styles have been used over and over as like a style becomes hot. And I see other artists trying to, fall into it and, do the same thing. So mine is more to myself, and I don't follow the trend. I would say independent, especially if you have your own buzz and, you're creating your own mix. Like, I would definitely stay independent. I would tell any artist coming up to stay independent, but there are good deals out here for artists, and a lot of artists are benefiting from it, so I can't knock them. But those artists that are actually like making substantial amount of money from it, they're mainstream, and these record labels pretty much make them mainstream. So, you can have that on your side if you do go and sign with the label. But I don't know. I like being independent. For me, I don't like to really answer to no one. I like to. I don't want somebody telling me when I can put my music out or something like that. Timing wise, if it's a good time for me, is when I want to do it. So I don't have to answer to anybody. A lot of artists have to wait. Some artists get put on shelves, because they got to wait for the artist and ahead of them. And, I'm not with that whole movement. But hey, if it's a label that's, got a good deal on the table, present it. That we're all like, we're all drill rappers, maybe. I don't know. What's a good misconception? That one of the main misconceptions is we all, we're cap. We say a lot of stuff in our rhymes that, don't happen. And then another, I don't know if it's a misconception. Some of these guys, they're saying all the business in their raps, and they're getting caught and in trouble. So, I would say the biggest misconception probably would be, that we're all gangster rappers, maybe.
Yeah.
I like talking about women. So that's really what I talk about. I could say this easily. When was rap created? When did it blow up? Probably around 85, maybe.
Right, yes.
How long has it been violence and drugs? way before that. Like Al Capone wasn't listening to rap music. I could go back to, a lot of the syndicate, the mob, the mafia, they wasn't listening to rap music. So violence has been around day one. That's just somebody trying to push it off, and they're using excuses and making excuses and trying to take away from our checks and our money, But yeah, violence, I can't say it had anything to do with it back in those days. So. Yeah. It's definitely a target, directed at us. And, they feel they can put a blemish on it and maybe affect it in the long run. So, but hey, they've been doing that forever too, right? So, just back when, when it really started, records were being sold, and a lot of hip hop artists were being sold in mom and pop shops, and they didn't know where the music was coming from. They didn't know how much money it was actually making, so they started going into the mom and pop shops, and that's where you got SoundScan. So SoundScan started tracking where the money's coming from and all these hip hop artists, and they like, oh wow. Then, as the years turn, you start hearing it in commercials. You start, So I don't know. They see what it is. They see the profit margin, and they take it. And then when they can't take, they try to figure out ways to blemish. Mount Rushmore of hip hop music. Now, I have my pioneers that I feel like stand out that I would like to mention, but I'm gonna say my favorite of all time. I would go Tupac, of course, Biggie, 2, Rakim, it's 3. I'm throwing Future in there on 4. How many? I got one more, right?
Many do you like?
All right, I'm just gonna do 5.
Okay.
And see who takes number 5. That's a good one. I don't know. Probably put it's a toss between M and Jay-Z. Now I feel like Nas probably might have the best hip hop album ever, though. He as far as artists, he might not be my top 5 artists, but he's got the number 1 album with Illmatic.
Okay.
Yeah, Hey, and you know what? I'm mad at myself. I said I take back Eminem and Jay-Z. I'm putting Kanye right there because he's got some albums, that are amazing, and I'll put some of those albums in the verses against anybody. Some of them, I can't cross out. Like I would have liked to have worked with Prince and Michael Jackson, but some that I actually can do, probably a song with Chris Brown, where we have a dance off because I can't dance for shit, so it'll be funny. Uh, let's see, a song with Chris, a song with Rihanna, a song with Nicki, and a song with Future. But definitely, I got another album on the way, another one after that. I'm coming out with my own label called Good Dope Music. I got artists ready to go for that. OK Deezy, my boy Mac Tucker, Hari Montclair. Trying to introduce them to the world would be nice. We got a Good Dope Music compilation album coming out where all the good dope artists, come together and put an album out. So that's coming soon. The launch for Good Dope Music is coming soon. We're working on a video game for a clothing line and weed company that I'm actually doing right now that I have. It's called Legal Pothead. So it's a video game, clothes, and a good strand to go with it. So, I'm busy, man. I'm busy. I wrote the whole script. Well, I had a team. We got two other partners that helped me write the whole script for the video game. So it's going to be a 3-part video game, part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah, man, just work, and hopefully this next year we push. And not only do I get a nomination, I'm trying to actually win the Grammy. I don't want to be a contender for a nomination. I want to get the nomination and actually win it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and, taking the time out to listen to the show. Appreciate you guys.